Do you wonder what you could use in place of sugar? Since you keep hearing that sugar is bad for you? Stay with your lady Salome in this video as I talk about the alternatives that you could use in place of sugar. Stay tuned. Hello lovely people, welcome to Ezra Wellness, where you learn proven ways to healthy living. This is your lady Salome Admako. I'm a nurse and a functional nutrition counselor by profession. In this video, I'm going to talk about what you could use in place of regular sugar. You know, in the month of May, Ezra Wellness launched out a campaign talking about no sugar drink challenge. A lot of people participated. I know people were not putting the videos or the pictures out there, but people were talking to me out there, and I know a lot of people got involved. And now that the challenge is over, a lady met me at church the other day and says, "Hey auntie, now that we are finished with the no sugar drink challenge, we could go back and eat sugar, right?" I said, "No, I hope not." Because of that, I was compelled to make this video so that if you have the same question, you will know exactly what to do in place of going back to your sugary drinks. So, before I tell you what you could use in place of sugar, there is a little homework I want us to do. First of all, when it comes to sugar, I always talk about sugar, then I'm talking about the soft drink, the juices, the malts, the sodas, and all that kind. Those are all sugary sources, and also the cakes, the donuts, the muffins, and all that have a lot of sugar in them. But with that said, when it comes to sugar, I always don't want you to forget our other sources of sugar, like our carbohydrates, because when you eat rice, let's say a lot of rice 3 times a day, at the end of the day, they all tend to be sugar. With that said, I want you to know that when it comes to these carbohydrates and you are somebody that is looking to lose weight, I want you to cut it to once a day. That means your rice, your yam, your plantains, you want to eat it once a day, either lunch, dinner, or breakfast, whatever time you choose to eat it. Also, fruit. When you eat so much fruit, because we all know, we hear eat fruit and vegetable, but they are saying eat more vegetable than fruit. So when you eat too much fruit, at the end of the day, it's the liver that digests the fruit, and it put a lot of stress on the liver, and it contribute to other things. I have a whole video on fruit. You could check it out, and you know exactly all that to know about fruit. But I don't want you to forget fruit when we come to talking about sugar. And the other thing that I want to say is that when it comes to sugar, when you eat too much protein, at the end of the day, the body do not store protein as protein. The body will turn the protein to glucose, and the glucose is stored as fat. So when it comes to sugar, don't forget not to eat too much protein. Now let's look at some of the effects of sugar on the body that makes it so bad for you to eat. Just in case you did not come across any of my flyers out there during the 30-day no sugar drink challenge. Point number 1, sugar depletes our minerals like your zinc, your magnesium, your calcium, your vitamin B's, your potassium. And you say, how do sugar do this? Let's take an example when you eat a donut, which is basically carbohydrate and sugar fried in bad oil. At the end of the day, your body needs enzymes to digest this food that you've eaten. And since the donut itself does not come with any nutrients or minerals on its own, your body is going to use the minerals and the nutrients that it has stored to digest the donuts that you've eaten. And if you keep eating donuts most of the time, your body has to keep going to the stored minerals to do this job. And by doing that, you're going to deplete your nutrients and your minerals that you've already stored. So I call it a crime to your body when you eat these foods. Point number 2, sugar also depresses the immune system, or it suppresses it. What studies have shown is that in one study that they did in Loma Linda University, they gave people to eat certain amount of sugar from 5 tablespoons all the way to 24 tablespoons, and the other one did not eat any sugar. But at the end of the day, after 5 hours, when they drew their blood and they put it around bacteria, they realized that the white blood cells of those who ate the most sugar was not able to kill the bacteria. And the people who did not have any sugar, they are the ones that their white blood cells was able to kill the bacteria. So with that said, sugar, too much of it will suppress the immune system. And the coronavirus is still out there. We want to make sure that you building your immune system. You don't want to do things that will suppress it. And one thing that I also want you to know is that cancer cells also feed on sugar so much. As adults, we don't have a lot of growing cells in our body like young children. So when it comes to the cells that are growing is cancer cells. So if you have too much sugar on board, you'll be feeding these cells that are walking around, and it could lead to certain types of cancers in the body. So because of that, sugar is not the best thing for the body. Also, sugar promotes weight gain, because at the end of the day, when you eat too much sugar, all this sugar is turned into fat, and then the fat, when it's stored in the body, is going to contribute to your weight gain. Sugar also have seen to increase your bad cholesterol levels. Because of that, you want to watch your sugar intake. Sugar has also been linked to high triglyceride levels, and your triglycerides are a very strong indicator for heart disease, even compared to cholesterol. So you want to watch your intake of sugar. And another thing that I would say that sugar also do is that studies have seen that sugar contributes to the decreased levels of your serotonin hormone. And serotonin is a hormone that makes us feel good about ourselves. So if your levels go down, it could contribute to depression. And the last thing that I would say with the sugar is that sugar also could cause teeth decay, even in adults and children. With that said, let's look at what I don't want you to eat instead of sugar. Because you might be thinking, oh, Salome, because I cannot eat regular sugar, does that mean I could have these sugar-free items that are out there? One of them I want to talk about is the aspartame. Aspartame is found in a lot of products, especially when it says sugar-free. You read it and it's there. So what is so dangerous about aspartame? Studies have shown that there is a direct effect of eating aspartame on the brain. And what are some of these effects? It has contributed to epilepsy, Parkinson's, and brain tumors. And because of that, you don't want to eat these artificial sweeteners. Another thing that I've seen also is that aspartame also contributes to issues with your gastric tract, your GI tract. And what the studies have shown is that it kills the gut bacteria. And these gut bacteria, we need them because they do a lot of stuff for the body. Because of that, you don't want to use aspartame in place of sugar. The other thing that you don't want to use in place of sugar is Splenda. Splenda is made out of chlorinating of sugar. That's adding chlorine to sugar. And too much of chlorine in the body have seen to suppress the immune system. Because of that, you don't want to eat Splenda in place of sugar. Also, in one study, they realized that eating chlorine have effect on our blood system, the heart, the respiratory system in animals. And when they do the study and this effect are in animals, and humans are higher function animals. So with that effect, you want to be careful when you're eating this Splenda and stuff. And another thing is that Splenda also interferes with the function of our thyroid hormone. And we need our thyroid that helps with our metabolism, our heat production, and all that. So you don't want to use Splenda in place of sugar. The other thing that you don't want to use in place of sugar is sweet and low. Because sweet and low, so in 1977, Canada banned the use of sweet and low. Because in an animal study, they realized that it increases the risk of bladder cancer. Even in the United States, the FDA at one point was requiring food industries to write it on the label, a warning label, if sweet and low was in the food. But as you know, with lobbying from food industry and stuff, these things have been removed. So what you want to do is that you don't want to use these artificial sweeteners in place of sugar. Aspartame, Splenda, all sweet and low. So now you're saying, Salome, then what can we use? When it comes to supplementing for sugar, these are some of the items that you could use. One of them is dates, the fruit dates, or date sugar. The fruit date itself, you could take the pit out, soak it up, blend it, and use it in your recipes where you will use sugar. Also, there is date sugar, where the dates have been dehydrated and grounded into sugar form. The only thing with the date sugar is that it's very hard for it to dissolve in water. So when you're using it in recipes, you want to make sure you mix it really well in the ingredient before you add your liquids to them, to make sure that they blend right in. If not, it becomes lumpy and stuff. Another thing that you could use is that you want to go for raw honey. If you want to use honey, the raw honey have a lot of the minerals, the enzymes from the bees that are still good for our digestive tract and everything. You could use raw honey also. Another sugar that you could use in place of regular sugar is coconut sugar. Coconut sugar is made out of the coconut, from the coconut blossom. And that could also be used in place of sugar. And that one you could use 1-to-1 when you are making recipes, and that is also fine. One thing that you could also use is stevia. Stevia is either the liquid, you have the powder, or the leaf, and you could use that one in place of your sugar. I know a lot of people don't like stevia, and you wouldn't like stevia if you're eating regular sugar. But when you eliminate this high fructose corn syrup and the regular sugar out of your diet, it becomes very easy to incorporate stevia in it, and you'll be able to use it in a lot of recipes. If you're not used to it, I would say just go little and go slow, and then you'll be able to add it. Also, brown rice syrup is also another sugar alternative out there that you could use. And then maple syrup, you could also use that in your baked goods. And these are the sugars that you could use. So when it comes to the sugars that I recommend that you use, I'm talking about dates, or the date powder, or the date sugar. And then you could use coconut sugar. And these and the dates, you want to go for the organic kind if it's possible. And then stevia, also brown rice syrup, or maple syrup. But when it comes to all these sugar, all these items that you could use in place of sugar, I want you to know that when it comes to something sweet, you want to use it sparingly. You don't want to use it something all the time, like because you say you could eat it every day, you're putting it in your tea and stuff. But you know, once you do this a little bit at a time, it will get to a point that you'll be able to even drink your tea and all other things without the sugar. But if there is an area that you need to use sugar, these are the options that you could use. The last thing that I will say, that please remember to read your labels. That is the only way that you'll be able to find out what is in it, especially if you are trying to avoid this sugar-free aspartame, the Splenda, and the sweet and low out there, because normally it's labeled sugar-free. But when you go to read the ingredients, you will see some of these things in it, so that you'll be able to avoid it. Now you know what you could use in place of your sugar. Thank you so much for watching this video. Are you new to this channel? I want you to like this video, subscribe it, and share with friends, so that we will all join together and live a healthy life. Are you looking to lose weight, but you've tried so many things, it's not working for you? If it's not, well, get in touch with your lady Salome at Ezra Wellness, and she's going to help you with your weight loss journey. I will put all my number, my website, and everything underneath this video. So get in touch and let us help you to get to the body weight that you are looking for. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for watching this video. Until I see you in the next video, remember, this is Ezra Wellness, where you learn proven ways to healthy living. Thank you for your time.